Qualifiers is Group D, and is Nigeria taking on South Sudan. Well, one day is in the books. We had a couple of games yesterday, and now we're going to look at the Tigers. Nigeria, one of the real powerhouses in international basketball, taking on South Sudan, led by Coach Luol Deng. Mali and Rwanda will follow. Then looking ahead to tomorrow, you've got South Sudan and Mali and these other teams as well involved. So yesterday we saw Senegal come out and have a big game in pull away in the fourth quarter to beat Kenya, and we also watched Angola break open a close game in the first quarter to win against Mozambique. But right now it's these teams, and here are the rankings: Nigeria at 23, Mali at 74, Rwanda 91, and South Sudan 107 in the FIBA World Ranking. If you were to ask me, are they the 23rd best team in the world, I would say definitely, maybe even higher. But at the end of the day, you've got to go out and prove it on the court. You've got to win the games. I know the expectations had been very high for them at the FIBA Basketball World Cup last year, and they did not get really that far in terms of challenging for medal, but nevertheless, they qualified for the Olympics. South Sudan is a great story. They're being introduced here to the crowd now. It's a country that gained independence from the Republic of Sudan back in 2011. And obviously a lot of expectations for this basketball team. And you look at players like Peter Jock, for example, their outstanding shooting guard from Ukam Murthia. And obviously the coach as well, Luol Deng, calling the shots. There's a lot of talent in the pipeline, and it's more of a matter of when rather than if this team will eventually become a really good, a big force in African basketball. Who knows, maybe they will play at the FIBA AfroBasket. That'll be here in the Kigali Arena next summer. South Sudan had to go through pre-qualifiers, and they, in fact, did not qualify for these qualifiers. However, Algeria, due to COVID-19, announced they would not be able to take part, and the invitation was extended to South Sudan to take their place. So they will take on now a Nigeria team that is, quite frankly, folks, loaded with talent, as is always the case. It's not a matter of, you know, is this a team with terrific players? They've always got great players. It's just a matter of gelling, and are they going to have any type of rhythm? But they do have some veterans from tournaments past, like Ben Uzo. You know, don't forget, Nigeria have played at the Olympic Games in London. They had that famous, there's Ike Diogu, a legendary player still in that Nigeria team. They had that great run in Caracas at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament back in 2012. See, and Megano, who was so crucial in the African qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Benajay is back. He played in the team that played at the Rio Olympics. This Nigeria team, this outfit, there's Egekezi as well. Exciting talent. Plays college basketball at Belmont. This Nigeria team they won rather the AfroBasket in 2015. They played at the 2016 Olympics, and also played at the World Cup last year, and they will be in Tokyo. So anyway, we're going to pause for the playing of the national anthems for South Sudan and Nigeria. Okay, the national anthems have been played, and the referees also at mid-court. From Ethiopia, Jebeto from Democratic Republic of Congo, Kalume and Ayuba from Angola. You can see Luol Deng over there on the sidelines, still looking like he could lace them up and go out and play. Of course, he played for Great Britain in international basketball. Left Sudan as a boy, moved to Egypt with his family, gained political asylum and to escape the civil war in Sudan, and then moved to London, Brixton, and well, the rest is history. Has gone on to become one of Africa's greatest players, great ambassadors, and it's amazing to see that he has become not only the president of the South Sudan Basketball Federation, but has now moved into the coaching role. And we watched Boniface Ndong coach Senegal yesterday and do a fine job in that win over Kenya. And now we get to watch Luol Deng, whose brother Aju, in fact, coached during the pre-qualifiers and had a very well-known assistant coach, Lloyd Gardner, alongside him from England. But they have got a new setup here. It was very late that they found out they were going to be in these qualifiers, because remember, it was Algeria's withdrawal which opened the door for South Sudan. But they have really got a test today against a Nigeria team that has a lot of excellent players. Many of them obviously played in North America, and you could see Manitoba's finest, Keith O'Mara, as well, getting the start today for Nigeria, number 2. Obi Emigano likes to run and get out on the break, number 11. Benajay, just outstanding talent from his college days, NBA draft pick. But with the coronavirus pandemic, obviously basketball has been disrupted. Some of these guys without clubs, and in a sense in the shop window here in the FIBA AfroBasket Qualifiers. The top 3 teams from each group will advance to the FIBA AfroBasket. They'll play in this window and also the next one in February. You also say Sudan, one of the most famous Sudanese players of all time, Manute Bol, the late Manute Bol. And a slight delay here to proceedings. So over at the commissioner's table in this fantastic Kigali arena. Kigali is actually the capital of Rwanda, and this arena is the finest in all of East Africa, and a sensational venue, obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic having that we spoke about has prevented fans from attending. You can imagine the 10,000 fans jam-packed in here watching the FIBA AfroBasket next year. It is going to be an electric atmosphere. But it's wonderful that we can have these games. And of course, the continental qualifiers are being played all over the world. We've started off in Africa, the first 2 games yesterday and today, and then we're going to start having games in Europe, in the Americas, and in Asia. So the idea, obviously, since FIBA introduced their new system of competition back in 2017, was to really grow basketball, capture the imagination of fans, help federations grow, infuse fans with a lot of enthusiasm, help with marketing campaigns, you name it. You know, when you bring all of the teams all around the world together playing at the same time, it just creates this massive wave of basketball. You know, the national teams always get a lot of attention in the press, so from that standpoint, it's great to see these bubbles that have been set up that allow these teams to be able to play. You can see there's a technical issue which is preventing the start of the game. Unfortunately, we didn't have this yesterday, so the players are going to go warm up for Nigeria, whereas Luol Deng is going to go have a couple of words with his players before they start the game. But the bubbles have been set up. FIBA following the recommendations from medical advisors. The safest way to be able to have these competitions is to have the bubble format, just like the NBA had the Orlando bubble, so they could finish last season. And interesting that you know, this is the type of thing that can happen, and you have to be tough mentally. You're all ready to go. You're fired up. You're focused. You're concentrated. And Nigeria, to me, looks like it's no big deal. They're going to be ready to go. South Sudan, meanwhile, you can see the shrug, a little shrug of frustration from Coach Luol Deng. He wants to get this thing going, and as do we all. So for whatever reason, I'm not sure what the technical issue is, but I could see over there at the commissioner's table, the players, or excuse me, the officials discussing things and trying to get whatever the issue is resolved so we can get going. But we've got 4 games today here in the Kigali Arena, and I'm excited to be able to bring you all the action. Kenya, Angola will follow this one. Mozambique and Senegal will be tipping off later this afternoon, and then wrapping things up tonight with Mali and Rwanda. So Rwanda as the host, you know, there's a lot of excitement around this national team here in Rwanda, and building, and anybody that has watched African basketball, it's, you know, all of the basketball that you encounter all over the world is so different, from the Americas to Asia to Africa to Europe. And you know, the AfroBasket that I covered back in 2015 was one of the most amazing events that I've ever been able to take part in. It was unforgettable. Obviously, Nigeria, led by Coach Will Voigt, won that title in Tunisia, in Rades. Just a spectacular event. You love watching these teams play, and we're getting ready to watch Nigeria in white and South Sudan in black go at it. Well, hello everybody. If you're just joining us, a slightly delayed start due to a technical issue, but South Sudan in the dark uniforms taking on Nigeria in the white. South Sudan attacking the basket to the left on your screen and coming right out and missing with their first attempt. That was Emmanuel Malou, and now Nigeria attacking. So Nigeria with Diogu, Emegano, Benije, Iregbu, and Omera. Now the long shot, a little bit short. Iregbu missed that. Now here comes Nigeria on the run, and Omera, the Manitoba magician, lays it up with the left hand. That's right, folks. He played for the Manitoba Bisons back in the day. Outstanding talent. Good to see him out here representing Nigeria. And nice drive down the lane. You can see that tremendous confidence being displayed already by Emmanuel Malou. And now the turnover. Now this South Sudan team is Look at this, going right at the big fella. And of course, Nigeria thriving in transition. So we had a great opener yesterday, save the fourth quarter when Senegal blew out Kenya, but the first 3 quarters were terrific. And this game already looks like it's shaping up to be quite an exciting one. Oh, and the shot clock violation. It was Adoub who was trying to make the pass on the baseline there, but they waited just a little too long. And Luol Deng thinking things over there. Deng Mabior tying his shoes. And that was the shot clock expiring, which meant Emmanuel Malou's second basket was not going to count. So Deng Mabior runs down the court after tying up his shoelaces. Uregbu, he is like a bolt of lightning. Now, Emagano. Short mid-range jumper. Can he put the point guard, there's number 0, drives in and fouled while attempting the runner. Here's Uregbu. Just a little bit of contact. So Put goes to the line. Bends the knees and a little bit long with that first attempt. Second was, you saw Luol Deng over on the sidelines, and it's funny that some of the other players coming up and wanting to get their photos with him from the opposing teams. Such a huge star. There's Ike Diogu, and the big fella showing you that soft touch, which has allowed him to have such a long, famous career. Here's Emagano into the corner, and then driving in and missing with that reverse layup. Omara. Most of the offense going through this man right here, and then inside and scoring was big Mabior, Deng Mabior. Nice feed by Malou. Emmanuel Malou getting touches every time down the floor. Omara gives the ball back outside to Benajay. He gives it to Emagano, who spins in the lane. Now a chance to run. Tenny Put into the paint, and the block by Diogu. Block Kouani. And then quickly to the other end, Uregbu. You got to get on him. He is, again, like greased lightning. Emagano going for the steal and committing the foul. So that was Kouani that was fouled. He's got to be ready to catch that pass, though. You can't be standing around lax. This time, Adoub has the ball knocked out of his hands. Here he goes. And again, for the second time, a shot clock violation. And that sequence right there is all about these guys probably not having enough minutes together. Again, South Sudan given the invitation to play late following Algeria's withdrawal due to COVID, and a dub comes out of the game. So Matiang, one of the veterans, comes in. Matiang wears number 9. Tenny put, and a moving screen called on Emmanuel Malou. Oh, he just tripped him. Excuse me, that was on Ding Mayat Mabior. Ding Maya goes out, and three-point shot for Nigeria is good by Iregbu. Maya out, and Ding Akuth comes into the game. He wears number 6. There he is, getting it and putting it up and scoring, and now he will go to the line for a potential three-point play. He's big, he's long. Ding Maya left the country as a child. Settled, he was in Kenya at a refugee camp, settled in Australia. And the potential that he has is incredible. Probably needs to work on his upper body strength a little bit. And Magano, Iregbu, another attempt, and it's good. Falls down as well. Kawani, and the ball knocked out of his hands by Obi Emagano. That was Iregbu's shot. Now quickly come the other way. Iregbu hands it off to Magano for 3. A little bit long. There for the offensive rebound for Nigeria was having come into the game, Egekeze. So Egekeze just stole it away. So here he is at the free throw line. Well, we haven't spoken too much. We've spoken a lot, rather, about Nigeria. Excuse me, about Luol Deng being the coach. But we haven't spoken about Michael Brown, and obviously another high-profile coach in this competition. Former head coach of the Cavs and with the Lakers. And here he is with this Nigeria team. He will know Luol Deng very well, in fact. Sudan hanging tough right now. Kawani fouled as he gets close to the baseline, but nevertheless, Nigeria up by 9 points. Iregbu has been the star. That's no surprise. He's a big-time player. Now the defense, ball goes out of bounds. It'll be South Sudan basketball. Regbu, one of the players from Nigeria that did feature at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in China. And now the pass down low, and here comes South Sudan. The ball back, getting his first 2 points, but quickly the other end is Regbu, who knows nothing about slowing down. He is, again, just so quick. Already with 10 points. Now another turnover leads to Egekeze, gets it over to Emigano. Kuth, fortunate, was able to get that rebound. Now coming up and attempting the three-pointer was Matiang. Alley-oop pass, and the hands were up by Kwadi. Nevertheless, Benije gets an attempt. And South Sudan looking for some inspiration from somebody. Kuth turning and shooting on the baseline and getting fouled. Look at Regbu. Wow. Is he exciting or what? Played in 5 games at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Averaged 21.2 minutes per game. Did not shoot the ball particularly well, but did average 8.2 points, 2.8 assists, and 2.2 rebounds. And we got a timeout on the court. Mike Brown talking to his Chargers over there on the bench. Year back in February that Nigeria announced he was going to coach their national team.
Let's talk on D. Talk on D.
Well, Regbu comes out, so let's see how Nigeria fare without their best player out there, because again, he has just been instant offense, driving to the basket. Also from outside, he has looked very tough indeed. Kuth at the free throw line now for South Sudan. This is his first attempt. Regbu 4 of 5 from the floor. He's hit both of his three-pointers. He's got 3 rebounds, 3 assists. So he's already at plus 14 efficiency. And we've still got less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Akuz makes 1 of 2. Mokbo. Egekeze. That was Agata missing from 3-point range. Well, not messing around, putting it up quickly was Taco Weck. Stepping out of bounds is going to rule that away, rule that off from Ogunduran. Omatoyo Jordan Ogunduran. Amazing how many times that happens. Step out of bounds. But the court's not big enough. Of course, you don't have that much space between the three-point arc and the sideline when you get down to that corner. Three-point attempt is good. Well, he's the veteran, Matiang, and telling his guys to get back on defense. Matiang plays in Australia. Pass to the corner, three-point shot, short. And South Sudan see an opening here, trailing now just 19-14. And now a foul called on Nigeria. So Omakbo, former star at Colorado State. Egekeze goes out. And Akuth is back at the line. And probably as a big man, this will be an area of the game where he has to excel. He's going to get fouled. He's going to have to make those shots. Biggest lead for Nigeria in the game has been 9 points, but right now it's at 5. And Akuth makes 1 of 2 for the second time, and it's a 4-point game. Final 30 seconds of the opening quarter. An offensive foul called on Nigeria. So that was on Omakbo. Yep, you saw him. He sent was it Akuth? Flailing to the ground. Omakbo goes out. So Ding Akuth doing a job coming off the bench. And now reaching Agata called for the foul. Caleb Agata. South Sudan have crept right back into this thing. Well, they're calling it tight on that evidence, which is fine as long as they call it both ways. Buildup fouled, so he goes to the line. So it's Ding Akuth, Buildup, McCoy, Matiang, and Taco Weck out on the court right now for South Sudan. For Nigeria, it's Agata, Ike Diogu, Ogunduran, Omara, and Ben Uzo. Royal Ding has to like to come back from his team. Looks like Nigeria now can hold it for the last shot. But will they is the question. They swing it to the right corner, and this time Caleb Agata drills it and doesn't step out of bounds. And right before the end, well, the attempt was there. Nice finish for Nigeria. Catch and shoot. Looks like that's a play they've practiced. They're able to swing it, and Nigeria, on the strength of that three-pointer, go back in front 22-17 over South Sudan.
You don't get great looks. Ben, one time,
4 threes for Nigeria after that one, just 1 for South Sudan. South Sudan making a lot more trips to the free throw line.
Let's be spaced out on the floor. And all we got to do is stay drive and kick and get off the ball. Right now, we're fouling way too much. That's the only way they're scoring. Let's see if we can get the floppy out.
Well, here's some of the highlights from the first quarter, and you could hear Mike Brown in the timeout saying we're fouling way too much. That's the only way they're scoring. So definitely don't want to keep putting South Sudan on the line. Although, to be fair, if they're calling it tight, well, you just got to adjust. Good early play from South Sudan's number 11, Emmanuel Malou. And also Dean Mayot scoring down low. It's a work in progress, I think, the South Sudan team. You can see that by watching, but the more time they have together, okay, the FIBA AfroBasket Qualifiers, we've got this window, and as I mentioned, there will be another window coming up in February. So both of these teams will play 3 games in this window, and then also 3 games in February. Nigeria playing a little faster. Omara behind the back pass to Diogu, and Agata again, this time short, but Omara comes up with the rebound. And the drive and the offensive rebounds. Well, how did they not come up with points that time? Uzo. Here's catching it down low was Uzo and missing, but again, Nigeria with another attempt, and finally the three-pointer by Agata. But if you're South Sudan, you got to get the basketball. And just like that, it's an 8-point advantage. And Agata revealing himself to be a threat on the perimeter. While Bach hands it off. Oh, that was a nice play, just was not finished. But again, another turnover. And this time, the finish is there. So South Sudan give the steal to McCoy. The turnover was on Agata. And it was Taco Wet with the basket. Catching it, Uzo. Omara catches it before it goes out of bounds. Now he steps up from a long way out. And South Sudan just kind of standing it around, not going for the basketball. And you wonder with Luol Deng if he might be thinking about making some substitutions. I don't know if it's tiredness. Omara again, short. And unfortunately for South Sudan, nobody from Nigeria was challenging for the rebound on that one. Mike Brown considering his options. Three-point shot off target by Matiang. Uzo. Diogu for 3. That's good. Ike Diogu. He still got it, folks. And Luol Deng has seen enough. The 37-year-old Ike Diogu. That is money in the bank if nobody's going to be within a few feet of him.
When the shot clock going down, we yell butter at 5. That don't mean we gotta take a rush shot. Let's get the best available shot. So we gotta keep moving this one more. Let's get a good shot, all right?
Hey guys, hey, listen. When we come down the floor, let me see that board real quick. When we come down the floor on a missed shot, we're gonna go right in the push transition, okay? Let's push transition. We practice this shit a ton. You guys are great at it. But if you're coming down the floor and you don't feel like
so that's the voice of Mike Brown, but we're looking at the South Sudan bench.
Just swing it to him as you come. Just swing it to him.
And you can see it's going to be a big challenge for this South Sudan team. They look a little bit off the pace.
Makes sense? All right, so if we can't attack, let's at least go 5 out.
Here's Diogu again, ripping the cords from behind the arc. Mike played in 5 games at the FIBA Basketball World Cup last year. Averaged 6.4 points, 5.8 rebounds. Back, and now it is Akoy Agal, exciting player to watch. And the ball turned over, goes back. So keep an eye on Akoy Agal. Wears number 12 for South Sudan. Played his college basketball at Louisville, then Georgetown, then at SMU, and then transferred back to Louisville. You don't hear that often, but that is quite a journey of college basketball. Now here he is representing South Sudan. Shot clock winding down, and Matiang has his shot blocked. Good job by Uzo. Uzo is really he's a point guard, but he looks like he could play the small forward spot. I mean, he's got some length. He's got the ball now. Here he goes. And shooting it from the right is good by Ogendoran. Nigeria have really got themselves organized well here, and they lead it now 31-19. Between Agata and Ogendoran, that three-point shot is falling. And Regbu as well. Nope. Another turnover, and it's going to lead to an easy one, and it's Agata who continues to pour in the points. And now a sloppy play by South Sudan, and Agata gets to steal and layup. And he's got 10 points. And will there be a foul or travel? Yes, there was a foul. So Tenny Put was at fault for that last turnover. And this time it's Kawani. Excuse me, that was not Tenny Put. That was Aluk Adub with the behind the back pass. Not sure what he was doing. South Sudan cannot afford to make mistakes, the type of mistakes they're making now, and have a chance to win any of these games. They've got to raise their level. Ekekeze goes out, and Migano handling the ball for Nigeria. Iregbu back in the game. And Omara tries to save it. Ball goes out of bounds. Oh boy, that is a nightmare scenario right there for South Sudan. Again, that was Kawani saving it in bounds right to Nigeria. You're not supposed to throw the ball effectively under the other team's basket to save it. You just let it go out of bounds, but that's what happened. And Nigeria now well and truly on top of South Sudan, and another timeout called by Luol Deng. His team trailing 35-21 midway through the second quarter.
defensively. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
If they switch on you, we get you on the post. That's what we're going to play on. Come on, switch everything.
Together on three, together on me. 1, 2, 3.
Well, you can hear the sense of urgency over there on the sidelines. And South Sudan right now facing a mountain, 35-21. They just want to try to get this thing down. Don't let the lead grow before halftime. Maybe even cut into it, get it down to single digits. Uregbu. And Magano with a pump fake. And back outside, and the shot is good. Boy, what a play. The Egekeze finishing things off with the three-pointer. A 17-point lead now for Nigeria. Tenny Put. And going down and flailing and unsuccessfully was Adub. It doesn't help South Sudan that they don't have Peter Jock, but he got hurt in practice. Of course, tremendous player, jump shooter. And Uni Omat as well got injured in a warm-up game for this, so he's not able to play. And those are two massive absences for South Sudan. And their absences showing right now. You know, we don't know if either one is going to be available for the rest of the tournament. We just have to wait and see, but both big talents. Dub going to work down low, passes it back outside. And getting the shot up just in the nick of time, Kawani. Nigeria in command, up 15 points. 3:45 to go in the first half. And Uregbu off target, but Egekeze again, this time short. Catch and the interception. And a block. So Kawani called for the block, and Magano will not get free throws. South Sudan not in the bonus yet. Neither team is. Egekeze takes a seat, cup of water, and watches now the Tigers. You know what that's going to happen? Yep, Ike Diogu. That is such his place on the floor. He loves it. He's hit a couple threes there today. And they are cruising right now, 41-23. Now another turnover. Iruegbu up to Omara, puts it up and in. And Nigeria have their biggest lead of the game at 20. And the dump and the dunk by Big Ding Mayot. Look at this. They could do with a lot more of that. It all starts with the penetration, and then Ding Maya has to be ready for the pass because it's going to be coming. So another foul on Emmanuel Malou. He started like he was going to be the go-to man, and that's a cheap foul to give away. Here's a steal. And holding up, and great play by McCoy. He's the real McCoy. 43-27. Iregbu short, just grazed the net as it went past. So as bad as it's been for South Sudan at times, you can still see them finding their way back into the game if they can get some turnovers, some easy points, cut down on their own turnovers, and maybe get the likes of Ding Maya involved down low. So timeout by Nigeria. 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Push the ball out quickly. Push the ball up the floor. Okay, push it up the floor. Okay, push it up the floor. I got two other guys that can't. Okay, that doesn't mean we gotta attack. Let's get the ball up the floor quickly before they even set. They can't defend. If this is you pushing up the floor, right? And we got our big here, we're here. Even if somebody's behind you, they'll fill in behind you. But if you don't feel like attacking like our push transition, just swing it. DHO here. Look to turn the corner, fill the spots, and then move the ball. That's all we got to do. You know, that last possession, we made 2 passes outside the 3-point line, and then we shot a 40-footer. You know what I'm saying? We get downhill and look to drive and kick anytime we want. Right? Let's go, man. Let's go. Move the ball. Move the ball.
So Jackson McCoy bringing a little bit of pace to the lineup for, here he is, number 1, and handing it off to Ding Mayot. And perhaps Luol Deng has a player here he can go to a little bit more. He looks pretty useful with the basketball. This time his pass, though, blocked by Omara. Interesting, Jackson McCoy plays at Dayton State Junior College and was able to take a week off to come here and play. So he wants to get as many minutes as possible. This time a foul has been called, so Benajay will go to the line. He had the right idea, but Omara this time knew the pass was going to go up. Three-point shot is good from Obi Emigano. Takes it up to a 19-point advantage. Iregbu with the rebound. He runs, pushes it quickly like Mike Brown was asking. Emigano from the left corner. Ding Mayot with the rebound. And nice quick burst to the basket there by Taco Weck. Ike Diogu fakes now, drives short, make him move his feet. That's the key. Don't just let him sit out there and hit threes. And South Sudan trying to finish this first half strong. Pass back outside. Imagano guarding closely. McCoy gets baseline, and again trying to make the pass. It was deflected off the underside of the backboard and goes out of bounds. So 1.3 seconds remains on the shot clock. 8.3 seconds in the game. Here's a long jump shot, and they keep it alive. Nigeria going to push it quickly. Iregbu, perfect man for that, puts up a three, but just hits the outside of the net. And that's how it finishes. The end of the first half has been pretty much Nigeria from the very beginning. Iregbu, Diogu, Omara, Emagano, they're all pouring in the points right now for the Tigers. They lead it 46-29 over South Sudan. So Nigeria with the 10 threes, but more than anything, the turnovers have been real killers for South Sudan. I'll give you those numbers. Twice as many assists. Look at that, 8 steals for Nigeria. And Iregbu with 10 points, Diogu with 9, and Caleb Agado has been a real pleasant surprise coming off the bench and showing some offense. 23 points off turnovers for Nigeria.
So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the Heart of Africa cheerleader.
So here are the some of the plays from the first half. You know, it did start actually like it was going to be a lot closer, but you can see the quality in the play of Nigeria, the more experience, and probably with South Sudan. I mean, unfortunately, the absence of a couple of players has really been evident. Without Peter Jock with that great perimeter game, and also Nuni Omat, terrific player for Tofaş Bursa in Turkey and in the Basketball Champions League. Without those two guys, you know, they need all hands on deck. And there have been some moments for South Sudan, and they're definitely going to be able to compete, I think, against some of the other teams here. But Nigeria at this point just look like they have way too much. And they are in command at halftime with a 46-29 advantage. Mike Brown looks like he's getting what he needs and wants from his players. He calls his timeouts. He really wants to push it quickly, as you do. And if it's not there, not to force it, but to swing it. But anytime you can show that patience and you can hit those three-pointers, as Nigeria has been able to do, you're going to be tough to beat. They have really capitalized. They first of all forced a lot of turnovers, and then they've capitalized by scoring off those turnovers, and really some embarrassing turnovers for South Sudan, turning it over right underneath the basket of Nigeria and leading to some easy points. So a lot of work to do for South Sudan, but again, they are a work in progress. We knew that beforehand. Dean Maya is the leading scorer, but just with 4 points. So that tells you they've really had a hard time putting the basketball in the basket. Here are his big plays. The dunk. course, for Nigeria, Iregbu has been as good as advertised, if not more. He has been electric with his pace, with his ability to knock down the three, and his defense. 46-29, Nigeria on top at halftime of South Sudan.
Abe will go coast to coast and have it swatted away by Williams Naras. There's the floated pass, and there's the big finish by Thompson. Spin. Oh, nice little fake, gets the defender to turn their head, and the score for Abekwesam. An old school move from him.
Oh, what a pass. What a pass and what a finish. Here they are again, and Bala hands it off and gets it back. Are you kidding me? An exclamation mark.
Well, it's been one-way traffic here in the Kigali Arena. Nigeria on top of South Sudan 46-29, and really looking to build on previous years. You know, you talk about this being the number 23 team in the FIBA basketball world ranking presented by Nike, and I think they can aim for much higher. You know, they went to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Obviously, a lot of the guys that were in China are not here for these qualifiers, but that's one of the advantages really that Nigeria has. I mean, they have got so many players to call on, and now with Mike Brown as the coach, you know, the potential is there really perhaps to keep it at that level that Will Voigt had it when he was the coach, or maybe take it higher. You know, both of those, you know, getting good coaches doesn't seem to be a problem for Nigeria, that's for sure. And Nigeria, why did they not do as well as they had expected perhaps at the World Cup? Well, when you look back, they took on a good Russia team and lost 82-77. They lost to Argentina, who made it in the final 94-81, and they did beat Korea 108-66, but that wasn't good enough to get to the second round. They could not afford to fall to Russia, really, which is what they did. It was, you know, they were considered, you know, everybody thought they had just as good a chance as anybody to advance from that first round. Instead, it was Russia and Argentina. But in the end, Nigeria did beat Korea. They did beat Cote d'Ivoire, and they did beat China, and of course they qualified for the Olympics. So that was an achievement. But they want to take it to a different level, and I think, you know, that's going to start with winning the FIBA AfroBasket next year, and then doing well at the Olympics. You know, they will have the luxury of having all those games, and then using that as a launch pad perhaps to even bigger things in Tokyo. So we shall see. South Sudan, meanwhile, as a reminder, they had to go through pre-qualifying just to get to the qualifiers, and they did not succeed in the pre-qualifiers, even though they had some good moments. However, they were extended an invitation to the qualifiers when Algeria pulled out because of the coronavirus pandemic due to COVID. So here they are, and using this as a building block. And again, the potential is there for South Sudan to go on and have a great national team program. But when you go up against a powerhouse program like Nigeria, your weaknesses and inexperience are exposed, and they have been so far today. Well, hello everybody, welcome back. If you just had a tea break like yours truly, we're back for the second half, and South Sudan trying to make some inroads. If anything, they want to play well to get ready for their coming challenges, and right now they're up against a good Nigeria team. Now swinging it, and the long rebound goes out back to the shooter, and driving in, good patience. And the basket is good by Kouani. That was Emmanuel Malou, actually, who missed that first three-pointer. Chance of defense, but no defense there to stop Omara. Omara scoring easily. Oh, double dribble. Good defense by Nigeria, in fact. He just kind of lost his footing, didn't he? Great defense. Steal by Akuth. pass intended for Ike Diogu. Here's Akuth. Gets it down low and scores. Ike Diogu, though, left open. They dodged the bullet. And again, here he is, and it's Akuth with a two-handed jam, and it's Akuth who's come to life here in the third quarter. Ike Diogu. Omara passes it back outside. Benedict for three. And again, another opportunity. You can't give those away. Second bite of the cherry. Akuth, wow, he had his hands up. Akuth still scored. What a player Ike Diogu has been for the Tigers. Drives in, but doesn't put it in the basket. Ike Diogu pulls up on the break. His attempt rims out. There he is, catching the give and go pass and putting it up, and great follow down low by Kawani. Benedict pulls up and hits the short mid-range shot, or excuse me, the little mid-range jumper. Oh, nice drive, but the finish wasn't there. And it pays off because Matiang hits the three-pointer. Benedict drives down. Diogu. Three-point shot at Regbu, short. Now in the corner it goes, and that would have been two if it fallen, but Matiang unsuccessful. Irogbu, Benedict was lining up in the corner, and Irogbu throws it out of bounds. Just a little bit of miscommunication, and Nigeria's lead is just 12 points. South Sudan showing us a little bit of fight back. Here's Akuth again, stumbles, loses the ball. He plays in the NBL but doesn't really get any minutes, Akuth, and that's the key for him. He needs to play. Coming out. And South Sudan, it's not been an impressive third quarter for Nigeria. And the drive in the basket is good. So Jackson McCoy. Action Jackson, and shows that real McCoy finish, and happy to be away from Dayton State. Ben Uzo taken to the cleaners there, but Something tells me Nigeria is going to wake up here in a second and go on a big run. So he completes the three-point play, and now it's a single-digit deficit, and the world is your oyster, South Sudan. If you can play defense and rebound, you've got a chance. Ben Uzo, now Benija. Omarah drives in, passes it back out to Uzo. The hands are up, and shot clock winding down. Uzo for three, just grazed the net and almost stepped out of bounds. Did South Sudan's #2, Taco Weck, but he saved it just in time. Mike Brown has to be frustrated, the coach of Nigeria, watching his team kind of see this lead disappear. Three-point shot, and the shot was no good by Kawani. Now, here comes Nigeria. And Magano for three, that's good. More like it. Oftentimes it just boils down to you got to make your shots. And Magano was left open. Driving in, oh boy, what a sweet move that was. And he used the left hand, in fact, did Jackson McCoy. Benija, oh, what a step to the basket that was. And Magano left open again for three. Kawani with the rebound. Here he comes, drives in, hands it off. Matiang, and a little bit short. They needed that to fall, didn't they, for South Sudan, but the ball goes out of bounds off Nigeria. Look at that slick pass by Uzo, and Magano the beneficiary. So yeah, that ball goes out of bounds off Nigeria, and it will be South Sudan possession. Well, good anticipation from Nigeria, almost coming up with the steal. Was back in the game now, Emmanuel Amagbo, the former Colorado State standout. And the ball thrown out of bounds. So a little bit of additional pressure here forces or leads to the turnover. And great block down low. Nigeria stick with it. Look at them challenging each other down low. Now Magano for three. Oh, it rims out. Look at these bodies flailing. Great hustle. But in fact, the basketball goes over to South Sudan. And Luol Deng coaching away over there on the sidelines. Also the president of the South Sudan Basketball Federation. An absolute legend and beloved in Great Britain as well, who he represented in international competition at EuroBaskets and also the Olympics in London. Now the ball turned over, and Nigeria quickly. Uzo with the rebound. South Sudan kind of guilty of standing around on the rebound. I mean, here they are getting a defensive play, getting on the ground. Now they got a chance in the open floor. They drive in, ball back. Oh, the shot is blocked, but then the two-handed dunk. Here comes South Sudan. Great hustle. And South Sudan have fought their way right back into it, forcing Nigeria to take a timeout. That was close to being goaltending. Terrific block by Uzo. And it's an 8-point game, 55-47.
Going to a loose ball. You're the highest guy out on the floor. We get a hell of a block by Ben, and a fucking guy gets a dunk because you don't get back, and Emmanuel, you don't get back. I'm telling y'all, if y'all gonna play that way, you will not play. Trust me. I'm okay with making mistakes, but not that type of bullshit. Right? So let's defend without fouling. Let's get off the ball. Right? You make a drive, somebody pulls over, just pass it to somebody.
Hey, defense, okay? Keep that thing moving, right? Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go, tighten up, right? Tighten up, let's go.
Boy, Mike Brown didn't mince his words there. He was upset with the defense. His player is not hustling back. You know, Uzo gets the block, but nobody else is there to get the ball. And he said, I don't care if you make mistakes, but if you're not hustling back, in so many words, you're not playing. So I would expect to see a little more effort from Nigeria here over the final 2.5 minutes of this third quarter. Caleb Agata. His pass over to Egekeze, and boy, 2 points rather. Egekeze, and takes it back up to a 10-point lead. Spin, oh boy, that was awkward looking. And it looked like Kwani was going to get the layup. It also looked like Uzo might draw the charge. But in the end, Kwani missed the layup. One and a half minutes remaining in the third quarter. South Sudan have come back. They were facing a huge deficit. Here he is, the young man Jackson McCoy, and the shot clock winding down. Putting it up was Makue Pondak. Uzo flies in and attempts the left-handed shot, and he is fouled, so he will go to the line. So Ding Mayot. Now surely somebody needs to jump up and fix that net. They heard me. Mike Brown obviously coaches at the elite level and expects excellence. He's used to seeing excellence, and when he doesn't get it, he's going to demand it, especially as it relates to hustle and getting his point across. But you can see a little bit of frustration in his eyes, not just because of this third quarter comeback by South Sudan. Remember, Nigeria led by 20 points. Now they've gone back up by 12, but it's the effort that concerns him. Jackson McCoy. Akuth back in the game. Bounce pass right. Decision just a little slow in making the play, and Agata read it, stole it, brought it down the floor, and led to the easy layup. So excellent from Agata. And now almost another turnover. But the three-point shot Uzo quickly on the outlet pass, and here's the alley-oop. And it wasn't, Egekeze wasn't able to make it. The pass was there. Akuth able to save it in bounds, and now a wide open two-handed jam to cut it back to a 12-point deficit right at the end of the third quarter. Will it fall? Well, the attempt was there by Ogendoran, but no. On balance, much better from South Sudan, and Nigeria are glad to see the end of that third quarter because they were not good. They were outscored 20-15 in the quarter, but they still lead it 61-49 with 10 minutes remaining. So the shooting numbers, only 1 3 to fall for Nigeria there, just 1 for South Sudan as well, but it was more the hustle and bustle for South Sudan. Well, some of the highlights, many of them from South Sudan coming back. Akuth really gave him a lift. Big 2.13 meter center, 7 feet. Benajay showing his skill. Hasn't really forced it, his jump shot today, Benajay. He's a gifted scorer. Matiang, one of the veterans for South Sudan, and really Jackson McCoy has been, shall we say, a revelation. I mean, he's been terrific, coming over from Dayton State, taking a week off from his junior college to play, and I'll tell you what, it looks like he's getting a lot of valuable experience. So South Sudan going to make the AfroBasket, you know, he is certainly going to be a part of that roster. He just looks too good to keep out. Ball back in the game. Ball back in the game. Number 3 guarding the basketball right now. Ogendoran. Now Uzo being guarded. Now Taco Wet guarding. Here is from 3-point range, missing it was Maze Egekeze. Oh, behind the back. And Adub hasn't had a great game today. Had a chance to get on the board. Now quickly Nigeria to the other end. Little pump fake. Scrapping away, and this is the area where South Sudan have to be a little bit better. They got to be able to come up with a basketball. Got to bend over. Ball back, but I guess it's a little hard for Akuth to bend over and get that basketball, isn't it? He's up there. He is one big fella. Oh boy, the baseline was given away to Agata. He just made an uncontested reverse layup. I said Ding Akuth was 2.13. In fact, he's listed at 2.11, 6'11", but he looks taller than that to me. Well, it looks like Agata has responded to the searing warning, criticism from Brown about the hustle department. Here's McCoy again. Gets blocked. Oh my God! You could hear the Nigerian players reacting to the block, but then Agata stepped out of bounds. Boy, Uzo just plays just a beautiful game. Terrific bounce pass. That should have been an assist for him, but Agata stepped out of bounds. Ball back. Fouled out on the perimeter by Ogunduran. So the ball back with the dyed hair. And here's South Sudan with their inbounds play. Matiang is going to get the basketball inside, or get it into Bolbach. Bolbach drives in and holds it up and is fouled by Ogunduran. Ogunduran, oh yeah, he really hammered him. I'm guessing Mike Brown just saying, just move your feet and get your hands up. No need to swipe down on it. Amagbo having a little discussion there with Matiang. Now Magbo goes over. Here he is. What's going on? That tape is torn, so he has to come out. I don't know if that's what the referee is saying. Magbo, his story is one of incredible sadness. His parents perished in a house fire in Maryland, Hyattsville, as did his sister's twin children, 2-year-olds, back in 2016. So on this Thanksgiving Day in America, really makes you realize what's important sometimes. Bolbach misses the second. 13-point deficit for South Sudan. They've got a lockdown D now and rebound. And Nigeria, meanwhile, trying to turn up the intensity. Agata for three. Gosh, he is tough from three-point range. He really is. Caleb Agata with 13 points and now playing the D and forcing the turnover. Here's Agata again, steps behind the arc, passes it into Uzo. I think Mike Brown sees what Agata can bring to the table. He does have some nice aspects to his game. Caleb Agata, 3 of 5 from three-point range. He's got 3 steals, but he has turned it over 3 times. And driving down, boy, the layup was there and the layup was missed incredibly. And when you're down by 16 points, you cannot afford to miss layups. It was Kawani that missed the layup after making the great move to get inside. Then Uzo goes out. He's a lock for the team whenever they play if he wants to. He takes the seat. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay at this end. Now Jackson McCoy with 8 seconds. Drives in, tough shot. And the offensive rebound, good hustle, down low by Kawani. 6 minutes remaining in the game. Nigeria up by 13. Agata for 3, another one. He's got 4 on the day. And now Kawani called for traveling again. He's just a scorer, isn't he? Caleb Agata can fill it up. 16 points. He's got a game high 16 points.
They're going to come here, watch for this post play, and he's diving, or watch for the flash screen. Call it. The big, they're going to come up to the screen and try to get you, but you're switching everything. Right? Offensively, right? They're trapping up top. Everyone can just run here, right? Stay safe. When you come up, right? Take this guy's sending you this way, right? This is what we're doing. Come up here, right? And just shortcut. Yeah. Then you got him playing on the baseline and you got everybody.
You know, speaking of Caleb Agata,
finish.
another one of those products of Canada. Played at the University of Ottawa from 2012 to 2017.
How many I got left?
And he played in Spain for Prat Juventud in the LEB. And he stayed there in Spain. Went back to play in Canada for the Hamilton Honey Badgers. And he went to Israel with Hapoel Beersheva. He's definitely a player to keep an eye on. Could be forcing his way into the reckoning of the team that will play at the AfroBasket if they qualify, which I think they will, and also at the Olympics. But then again, that is a tall order. There will be a lot of players to choose from for Nigeria. So it appears we have an unsportsmanlike, which has put South Sudan on the line. Matiang. It was a technical foul called on the bench. Not an unsportsmanlike. So technical foul. I don't know if it was on something Mike Brown said or someone else.
Hey, Jake, here it comes. He's screening.
But whenever you're up by 17 points and you give up a technical, it's not the end of the world. Although I'm sure South Sudan will take it. Good defense once again by number 9, Matiang. Well, the competitive juices are flowing for both of these teams right now. You can see it. And Magano, little hesitation, passes it back outside. Irekbu hits a three-pointer right at the end of the shot clock. Maybe he'll make a late run here to be the game's leading scorer. He's got 13 points. That was Imagano getting another assist. And good defense by Agata. Here's Jackson McCoy. And he had Iregbu on his back, and Iregbu commits the foul. Well, Jackson McCoy is certainly one of the players that comes out of this game with a lot of credit. Look at him. The potential. Oozing with potential.
Hey, let's just push. Push transition. Push transition. Get it across the floor.
Makes one of two. He's 20 years of age, McCoy. Agata gets on the baseline, passes it. And Megano short. Good hustle by Nigeria, though, to get it back. Iregbu into the paint. Back outside to Emegano. And Agata has to rush one up right at the end of the shot clock. 4:15 remaining, 18-point lead for Nigeria. And what an attempt that was by Jackson McCoy. Left his feet, not knowing what he was going to do with it, and had to put up a crazy shot. Caleb Agata gets it back, hands it off to Emegano, and he is fouled as he gets inside by Kawani. So Diogu comes back into the game. Here's Emegano. Takes the first. Also Benajay back and Omaraz back. One of two effort. So Nigeria closing in on victory on the first attempt here in the FIBA AfroBasket Qualifiers. Well, the shot was there by Makwe Pundak, but he's short, and now another foul has been called on Ding Mayot. No, it is ball back will be the foul. Remember, no Nuni Amat today for this South Sudan team. Also no Peter Jock, both of them injured. And their absence was felt. Here's Omara getting the steal and the layup. Three minutes remaining. Nigeria closing in on victory. Up 22 points on South Sudan. Turnovers have been a big problem today for South Sudan. That's something they're going to have to pay attention to. Ding Mayot, his attempt, well, bounces off the top of the rim. Nigeria pushing it quickly. Nigeria scored 27 points off turnovers, but South Sudan, in fact, have actually done better in that department as well in the second half. They scored 19 points off turnovers. 19 off 13 Nigerian turnovers. So Nigeria scored 27 points off 20 turnovers committed by South Sudan. So timeout on the floor with 2:33 remaining. Nigeria leading by 22 points. Kenya, Angola will be coming up next. That'll be starting at 1 o'clock local time.
So we're going sideline, right? Ball's here. So when you take it out, don't forget, this is 4. You're too short. Yes, you're the 4, right? 4. There's a pin down. There's a 2. Like, 2's coming up. 5 is here. Yep. Put 1 here. Go ahead and hit here. When that happens, you work behind the defense. All right? Mike, you come up. You set that thing. And then play field here. If you want to pop, go ahead and pop. Otherwise, look at because it's a single side tap. You know what I'm saying? So if you roll, and he's coming on, you'll probably get it done.
South Sudan will take on Mali in their next game, and that will be on Saturday. And Nigeria's next game will be against Rwanda, and that also will be on Saturday here in the Kigali Arena. So these teams, you know, and you're hoping that South Sudan can recover Peter Jock and Nuni Omat.
Stay home, stay home, stay home.
Diogu.
Rebound.
Nagano hustles back on defense, but whistled for the foul. Didn't do too much wrong there. And the free throw is good by Kawani. Had a tough day shooting the basketball from the floor today. Just 2 of 12, Kawani. But he has been able to get to the free throw line. He has got the 8 points. Magano. It's back to Regbu. And Omara flies in. Offensive rebound attempt. Now Matiang. And the ball bounces over the backboard.
Good job, Taco. There you go, Taco.
So the final minute and a half. Nigeria on top. And going to be very soon 1-0. Benija puts it up from 3-point range. He's had a great day shooting the basketball, in fact. Just 1 of 7. Hasn't hit a 3. He's 1 of 5 inside the arc. There's a bounce pass down to Ike Diogu. And the foul from behind by Matiang, as you can see. So Ike Diogu will get some free throws, but before that, we've got a timeout with 55.6 seconds remaining.
He's going back door. Ike setting the side pick and roll. He's coming off here. He's walking down the floor. 3 is coming over the top. Here, right?
Got it with the 16 points.
Cap, you said a side pick and roll.
It was kind of illustrating
okay? You're going down the
his size and tenacity with those 9 points. Come from the guard spot. Excuse me, 9 rebounds. And Iregbu just knocking on the door of the double-double. He's got 13 points, 8 assists. Not sure he's going to get it. Only 55.6 seconds remain. Got it leading the scoring with 16 points. So Ike Diogu goes to the line. He's got 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And the 37-year-old bends the knees and comes up short. So uncharacteristically misses both free throws. And again, Jackson McCoy gets down the court quickly and earns a trip to the line, giving Iregbu a taste of his own medicine. It's usually Iregbu that beats the other team down the floor. And he misses both free throws. Iregbu gets some space. Omari has it. And ends up putting up the jump shot. So the final 20 seconds, South Sudan another chance, but Kawani caught the ball out of bounds. So I'm guessing that Nigeria will just dribble it out. Tough day at the office for Kawani. 8 points, but 2 of 12 from the floor. Have to bring it across midcourt, and then I would imagine Iregbu, he's going to call a foul for flailing his right arm, Iregbu. So all credit to Jackson McCoy. Former Washington State standout, Iregbu had a great start to the game. Now he's going to come out and hear it from Mike Brown. Jackson McCoy. Final seconds, ticking off the clock, and I think guilty of trying to do a little too much. So that's how it finishes, folks. Nigeria, imperious when they needed to be, set the tone in that first half. And South Sudan came back, got scrappy, made it a game for themselves. But in the end, Nigeria had too much. They win it 76-56 over South Sudan.
Hey, we doing cool down anything out here? What's happening?
So Mike Brown, his assistant, former Tar Heel John Kuster, and Mfon Udofia celebrate the big win. Here you see 14 of 43 for Nigeria inside the arc. They had the 14 threes, although the majority of those came in the first half. They were actually out rebounded in the end. A little bit better from South Sudan in the second half, but they kind of faded late. And again, the turnovers were the big problem. Agata really showed us something, didn't he, today, with his shooting ability. Regbu had that great start, and Ike Diogu, rather, as steady as always. So some of the highlights from the first game of the day and the first game for these two teams. A lot to like and perhaps a lot not to like from both these teams, but it's what you have to expect sometimes, shaking off the cobwebs. These teams haven't had much practice time together beforehand, although South Sudan did actually play in the pre-qualifiers, but they did bring in a lot of new faces for these qualifying games. And their hopes of qualifying for the FIBA AfroBasket certainly have not died and will not die over the next several days, because remember, there's also a February window when more qualifying games will be played. But Nigeria, you would anticipate, would go on and qualify for the AfroBasket as quickly as possible. They will be favored to get 3 wins. They will go up against Rwanda, and they will also play Mali, as will the South Sudan team. So I think South Sudan, perhaps their best chance of getting a win would be against the hosts, Rwanda, here. And it could be that those two teams will battle it out for the AfroBasket, but we haven't seen Mali yet, so we'll see how strong they come out today. And maybe Rwanda, with the benefit of being at home, will have more to offer there. Agata did himself, I think, some justice today. I'm sure he raised eyebrows with his ability to put the ball in the basket. Regbu, as always, really kind of set the tone early with his pace, but also his scoring, whether it was from three-point range or his penetration. But here are the standings so far in Group D, and we'll see Mali and Rwanda play tonight. So Nigeria winning it 76-56 over South Sudan to the top of the group. South Sudan getting a 1 point for playing the game.